We're back, and thank you for joining us. Our first question has to do with the music industry's potential plan to assist artists with generating revenue, since conventional touring and live music is totally out of the question right now. So I've asked music industry vet Doe to join us in giving us his insight on what this could potentially look like now and continuing into our future. Let's take a listen to what he had to say. Okay, welcome to the Industry 101, where if you have questions, I'll get you answers. And I'm your host, Robbie Jenkins. And today we have a special guest that's joined us to address a question that came in from one of our viewers, and his name is Doe. Doe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Doe. I own Build Your Buzz magazine. I've managed artists over the years. The last couple of artists I've managed was from Love and Hip Hop, Lyrica Anderson, A1 Bentley, Young Bird. Um, I've been in the game doing concerts and tours for about 20 years. So, you know, now I just opened my own streaming platform called the Doe Network, and we'll be doing live streaming concerts from there.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day and on such short notice to join us for today. It was very important. So we have a question that came in from one of our viewers out in Oakland, California. And this is from GJ in Oakland, California, who says and asks, what is the music industry's plan to help artists generate revenue since live music and touring appears to be out of the question until 2021? That's a huge question. I couldn't have picked a better person to give a perspective on that. So what do you think about that question, Doe?
Well, honestly, it is a great question, but it's simple. You know, with all the streaming platforms nowadays, these artists can do streaming concerts, as you see online right now. Teddy Riley versus Babyface. Last night was Ludacris versus Nelly. Then you had Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu, T-Pain versus Lil Jon. You can do things like that and have everybody cash app you a couple of dollars. You ain't gonna get the full price what you can, but that's another way for them to make money. And what they need to do too is, while everybody is paying attention to social media, it's your real opportunity to continuously drop music and keep your relevancy. Because if you don't stay active, once it opens back up, the people that stayed active are the ones that's going to get the shows and the tours. Because right now, you're not. What's going to get you active and stay active is social media. Right. You know, through all the streaming platforms, and that's the key for them. They have to stay active in order so when everything opens back up, they can continue to tour and show. And I feel once it opens back up, a lot of people are still going to be kind of hesitant. There'll be people that'll go, but they won't be like knock down, drag out how it used to be with tickets sold out in a matter of minutes, because people are still going to be scared and nervous. So you have to create those other ways and those platforms to go viral, you know, which is keeping your music abreast and doing your own shows in your own home and different things. Anthony Hamilton did it. There's a few artists that did it. So that's the way to stay relevant in the game and continue for them to make some money for themselves. They make their money off of streaming and doing their own little shows like that. And for my network, we will be doing going to artists and setting up shows and doing streaming, like the 101 type of thing with the artists interviewing and having them perform. So that's what we're doing. But those are the ways that they can stay relevant, because touring and stuff like that, the way this looks, it doesn't look good. Because the next thing you know, it's going to be something else that comes about, and soon, you know, the question should be how a Live Nation and everyone else are going to stay afloat. Because without those things, that's their money, that's their revenue. So, you know, especially artists that are signed to Live Nation and locked into those contracts, those are the ones you have to be worried about, because now they can't do the streaming platforms and do the streaming shows because they're locked in with Live Nation.
Right.
So, in the AEG, so that's where the problem comes in for those artists. So, you know.
And that's funny, because one of the things I constantly say is that we have to prepare for the new normal. And so some of the things that we're doing right now just to stay relevant may actually become normal, you know, moving forward. It's new normal to us who have been pre-COVID-19 and did things a completely different way. But now moving forward, some of these things may stay on board and may be in addition to some of the things that actually phase back in. Um, and so to that, I want to ask you a question about how does someone who is a new artist, just new to the whole game, maybe they just came up with some new music that they want to push out there, how do they go about acquiring a fan base that will make them relevant enough where people will actually come view them and see their live online concerts or shows that they're doing?
Well, the key thing for that is a new artist, he has to promote his social media, take out social media ads and campaigns. And if he does a video, which is, kind of hard right now to be a limited type video, but place it strategically. Like he has to have a rollout campaign and make it worth it. Do shows like yours, other online shows, and do these Snapchats, and there's this new thing, TikTok, that everybody does, make songs or do videos off his own song with that TikTok and help, hopefully in case that it goes viral. Drake did that right foot, left foot, and that Tootsie song, and then went viral in a matter of couple of days. Not everybody is Drake, but if you have something that's catchy, people will, gravitate to it.
Right.
So that's the way.
So that would be the way to get started, and then continuously just kind of promote it throughout the other platforms. Perhaps maybe it's a thing where they'll have multiple accounts on different platforms and they can just kind of push it that way.
And it'll help them go viral. Do a lot of interviews, do a lot of, there's a lot of people doing the same thing you're doing right now is, virtual interviews. Sign up for the virtual interviews, let the online radio stations and stuff play your music since it's virtual and do the interview there. Those are the key ways, because everybody's paying attention to online stuff and streaming right now, which is the key. So if you're a new artist, that would be one of the perspectives, the way I would go with as far as a rollout campaign. Seek a lot of things like that.
Right. So basically, this is like an opportune time for anybody who's really starting out, because now you have a captive audience. There's a lot of people that are home and they have nothing else to do, and a lot of them are online searching for things. So with that being said, I just want to direct the attention. You mentioned something about some of the concerts where there've been artists not necessarily doing battles per se, but they're in the friendly competition, so to speak, just kind of comparing music and going back and forth, and that's apparently been generating a lot of attention. I mean, I saw the Babyface and Teddy Riley one, both of whom I've met before. That was pretty good. I saw
700,000 people.
Yes, it is. So, and that's the thing I want to speak to, is that you can really, if you do this right, you can really generate a lot of following and a lot of people that are coming on board to find out about you.
Well, especially now that people don't have a lot of things to do, everything is limited. So, and in a day and age where people's phone is like a part of their hand.
Right.
So if you have a built-in audience, it's like, it's right then and there right now. Everything is right for the taking, especially, older artists still have fan base, but newer artists that's coming out right now, people are always looking for the next big thing, because their attention spans are not like they used to be before. An artist put out a record, they're hot with a single for 8 months, 6 to 8 months now.
Right.
Now your single is good for 30 to 60 days and you have to put out another one, because it's microwavable music, because you get it so quick.
Right.
So if these artists have 2 or 3 records, I always tell an artist, you got a hot record? Okay, what's your follow-up record? Before you put that hot record out, what is your follow-up record? Because the first record is what's going to get you there. The second record is what's going to help keep you there.
Right. That's right. And it is extremely more difficult, like you were saying about music videos, right? Some artists are really going to be struggling with that. I mean, myself, I have something coming out next month, and I'm still kind of up in the air about how I'm going to do that. Got a music video director who's in place, ready to go. So we're kind of being creative about the concept and how we're going to put it together. What do you say to that specifically, to any artists coming out now?
You got to be real strategic. If you're shooting in public, especially, be real strategic, because you don't want them to shut you down and large crowds gravitating, because people, they see something, they're going to stop and pay attention. That's one. 2, the second thing is that you have to be find out where you can shoot now. And a lot of places are not going to allow you to have those crowds. So if it's a video, let's say, that needs a nightclub scene, or somewhere that includes a lot of people in your song, it's going to be extremely hard. I honestly, I can't even give you an answer, because who know, people may not, if we're still under these social distancing things, it's going to be a problem.
Oh, definitely. Definitely is. One last question I will ask, kind of like a prediction. So once the COVID-19 has been contained, which who knows how long that'll take and when that'll actually happen, but let's just be optimistic and say that at some point it does come to a point where it closes. What parts of what we're doing now do you foresee could possibly continue after that?
The heavy streaming, because now the world, as far as streaming and social media, is going to be even more heavy and relevant, because people know that's something that they can rely on. In this times that what's going on now, streaming, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, all of those streaming platforms, all the music platforms, all the social media platforms, the numbers have been super heavy. So people will still pay attention to that for the sole reasons that there's going to be, even though, let's say everything opens back up and everything is there, people still are going to be kind of hesitant for a while. So if they can see something online or something at home and catch it at home, way out of the way of 20,000 people or 5,000 people, a lot of people are going to opt to stay home and watch it. You got to look too. AMC movie theaters are shutting down. They're going to start showing the movies online for a $20 fee. So a lot of things are going to start gearing towards you being more and more in the house.
Exactly.
So streaming and social media is going to take a real huge, I think they're going to take a tremendous leap over the next couple of years.
Right. It's going to really go on an upswing now. Doe, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your input, and I'm sure our viewers do too, especially GJ out in Oakland, California. I'm sure that has, gave him some direction and some guidance that he or she didn't have. And we thank you for being a guest. We hope that you'll come back and join us again soon.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Good. Maybe the next time we can come back and talk about Build Your Business.
Buzz. Definitely. There you go. Yeah.
Thanks again. And we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.